Welcome to another episode of Mr. Mustache Craps. Hope everyone's having a great day. So today on our dice throwing practice, I'm going to show you the 3-point Molly betting system. And I'll explain that to you, and then we'll have live rolls, and we'll do some math and show how the money would work with that compared to my strategy, and maybe even throw in another betting strategy or two to see the results. So the 3-point Molly is very simple. Essentially, you have three 3 points. So you would play the pass line, and of course the puck would be rolled. Say, for example, it comes up, it makes no difference. We'll just say the 4. So then on that, you would place the come bet. You would have a roll. Whatever number comes up, it travels to. We'll just say it's the 9. At this point, you would play odds, and we're just going to do single odds, and we're assuming this is a $5 table. So you do single odds on the pass line, single odds on the 9. So the thing about it is, for the 5 and 9, when you bet odds, you want an even dollar amount for the bet. The math just works that way. The even numbers, 6 or 8, 4 or 10, you would do an odd number. So in this case, we'll do $6. And as we walk through the simulation, I'll play it out. All right. Then you would put another bet on the come bet. Throw the dice. Comes out, we'll say 6. Again, for that, we would do our odds bet, which will be $5. So we throw the dice, because we have our 3 points, the 6, 9, and 4. And of course, the pass line counts as the 4's bet. So we throw the dice. We'll just say the 6 comes up. So the dealer will take it down. Your flat bet pays 1-to-1, but your odds bet, being it's a 6, will pay $6 for 5. So the dealer would pay you 1-to-1, and then on this, he would pay you $6. And then you would take your money. In this case, we would want to set another point, so I would just leave a bet on the come point, or on the come line, and then throw the dice. We'll say 5 comes up. Well, that doesn't help us with our betting, but this would move. Actually, I'll say the 10, just so I can show you some of the math. So the 10 was rolled. We put our bet on that. We put on the 4 and 10, it's really not as critical because it pays 2-to-1. So I'll just leave it like that. So we have our 3 points again. Dice is thrown. We'll say that the 9 hits. Okay, the dealer will take it down. And again, the flat bet pays 1-to-1. And then your odds bet, in this case, would basically be 1.5 times your pay. So for the $6, it would pay 9. Hence why we wanted the extra dollar on that odds bet. It just makes the math easier. So then he pays 1, 2, 3, 4, which would be for our odds bet. We'll bank those chips. And then we have to get another point, so I'll leave that there. And then they throw the dice. This time, just for the sake of making the explanation a little bit easier, we'll say that the 10 was rolled. So it's kind of an interesting situation, being we have the come bet, which would be moving to the 10, but we have a bet on the 10, so the dealer would take that down. So our flat bet would pay 1-for-1, but the odds bet will pay 2-for-1. So that's how that bet would work. This would move to the 10. We would place our odds on it. We have the come bet. We only have the 2 points, the 4 and the 10. And then we would roll again. So in this case, we'll just say that the point is hit. Again, it's kind of an interesting situation, but our pass line is the point bet. So the pass line would pay 1-to-1, and the odds would pay 2-to-1. So we would take that money, the point would go off. This would move up there, and then the rolls would continue, so on until 7'd out, when everything was lost. In the event that during a point is being set, if a 7 is thrown, and we're going to assume there was a pass line bet, and we'll throw this on here, an odds bet on there. So the throwing point, a 7 is rolled because the point has not been set yet. Well, as you know, this automatically pays. That pays 1-to-1. But what happens with those? So it's a little bit different with those. On those numbers, the odds bets are off just naturally. You could ask for them to be on at all times, but there's really no point in doing that. So the dealers would give us our odds bet back. There we go. He gave it back to us. And then, because we did not lose on the odds, he just returned them to us. So, but these, we would lose. So it's also a pretty safe betting system. Sure, you can get hit, and like you can in any strategy. Short game, 0.7 out. There's no strategy unless you're playing the don't or the dark side that will actually help you with that. So we're going to do a live roll, see how it all plays out. I'm going to use the hard 4 set. We'll see how that goes. Red is on the right, blue is on the left. Hard 8. Point would be 8. I'll mark the hard 8. I hope you've been enjoying all my other videos that I've had. Four, 5, 9. Now, if you have a betting strategy that you'd like to let me know about, I'd love to learn it, and I'll be more than glad to incorporate that into one of my future videos. So please feel free to comment or email 213. Okay. Five, 1, 6. Normally, I don't cut any of the video out, but between rolls, if there's some empty dead space and I have a long roll, I might do that just to make the video shorter. 6, 4, 10. I don't believe I've had to do that with any of my videos so far. Five, 6, 11. Losing my place on the table. So my cold strategy video that I had come out the other day, that one seems to be doing pretty good. It addresses that issue of a couple of very conservative betting strategies that you can use on a cold table. 5, 6, 11 again. Kind of turning into a horn bet session. Yeah, the biggest thing, and even sometimes I would just play using my cold table strategies because you can build up comp points rather quickly without risking a lot of money. 5, 1, 6. That's the second time I've hit it. Oops. 11 again. I might even start throwing money on the horn bets at this point. Certainly not a guaranteed bet, but if the horn numbers are coming up fairly frequently, then it might be worth it. 415. My thoughts about doing the horn bet is, for example, the 11 pays 15 for 1. Well, within 15 rolls, we've had 3 hits. So I certainly would not have lost money on that, and therefore I would have made some money. So that's how I rationalize doing the horn bets. 12. See, it would have paid off because we had the 3, and now we have the 12 also. And for those of you who don't know, the horn bets, which are 2, 3, 11, and 12, my table has both for 11, which doesn't make much sense. But those are the horn bets. And those are one roll bets. So you bet whatever you want on it. Different casinos have different rules. Hard 10. So but they're one roll bets. So in this case, on this roll, I would have lost my bet. If it's a $5 table, then I bet $5 on it. I would have lost that. But I would have hit 5 times previously. And when you do bet those, each one of those numbers is an individual bet, or 4, 5, 9. You can do combinations, high, low, 12 and deuce, 11 and 3, or whatever combination you pretty much want. Or you can bet all 4. So there's plenty of different betting options. Wow, that got out the way. Well, that's a 4, 2, 6. The 2 hit the alligator skin, and that's why it went wonko. Normally when I throw, I'll just deviate from the practice. Oh, let me go ahead and mark the 6. I try to get the dice to land in an area about this size, around that. So they hit the dice, low velocity, hopefully they land flat, which you'll normally hear like a pretty solid smack when they hit. They have a minimal bounce, eliminating the alligator skin, which randomizes them, and then they'll drop back down, and usually in an area, around this big. Being the one dice went over there, it's because it hit the alligator skin and just went. And that's why the casinos have that up, to randomize the dice. Three, 1, 4. Easy 4. This is turning into a pretty good roll. Be a good example for us to use for the betting system is going to show. Hard 10. On my betting strategy that I use, I'd be sitting pretty good right now. Even though we've had lots of horn bets, but that's only about a third of our throws is horn bets. But I'd still be doing pretty good with my system. And nearly all of my recent videos, hard 4, nearly all my recent videos, including updated old videos, demonstrates my betting strategy. Five, 3, 8. We finally got the point. Just out of curiosity, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 throws before I finally hit point. We're on a roll today. Starting to get a little excited. Of course, I'm 30 away from my personal best record of 48 rolls, but hey, why not go for today? Today's a good day to break that. So I'm setting a new point. Hard 10. And if you saw the dice, they looked really pretty, staying close together and hit right at the base of the wall. That was a really nice throw. And I hope I marked the hard 10. I think I did. If I didn't, I'll account for that in the post-processing for the video. And again, I'm using the hard way set. Four, 1, 5. That's one of the beautiful things about video is I can just review, and if I missed marking one of the points, I will catch it. Even if I just put a little note on the screen saying, oops, forgot to mark it. Or I could even put like a little digital red chip on there on whatever number. Hard 10 again, my gosh. Those hardways are really coming up now. There would be a lot of happy people on the table, I tell you what. So that was my second point hit. You'll be setting the third point. Hopefully the batteries in the cameras hold out. 6, 4, 10. Yeah, by this point, between the 5 hits, I would have been pressing quite a bit. It would be at least $100 on the 10 by this point, maybe even more. But that will all play out in the math at the end when I do the graphic overlays for the bets. 4, 1, 5. So I'd really love to learn your favorite betting strategies. Please comment below what they are. And if there's a new one, like if it's your own personally adapted one, I would love to learn it. And with your permission, I would be more than glad to post it in one of my videos. 3, 4, 7. Wow. Okay. Well, that was still a pretty darn good roll. So being that I marked everything, which I believe I did, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. A 23 roll count. That's nothing to sneeze at. You're using any betting strategy other than the dark side, you would have made some money. Well, I thank you so much for your time and patronage. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment. All those things are so big for YouTube, for the channel. Helps me out tremendously. And everyone, have a fantastic day and be safe.